Hi everybody, Brett here. Right, the Kuzimu Monster Mash contest is over and we have a winner. It was shared over many independent comic book review and news sites. I've done interviews and sent out messages everywhere. In the end, unfortunately, we only had one entrant, but it was a really fantastic entry into the contest. So, you are the winner, Inky Nebula. I'll ship across your t-shirt and your sketch of your monster as soon as I can in the next week, and I've got a couple of projects to take care of over the summer that are up and coming, some anthology work, pin-ups, but after that I'll get stuck into Kuzimu issue 8 and send along the original art for your creature. Now, for anyone who didn't see it, check it out on kuzimu.co.uk or any Kuzimu social media. You'll be able to find her piece, The Twins. For someone who hasn't been part of the creative process, she got the pathos of the characters in the book so well that this fits in right away. The little backstory behind them is that they are siblings who are conjoined forever in the afterlife by their loving and loathing of each other. I mean, there's more to the backstory of that. You can check it out on her piece, which has the writing next to it. It's brilliant. I couldn't ask for any better. Now I've got to try and work out how to better integrate it into the story. So, for anybody who didn't enter the contest and get a free t-shirt, you can now buy them online at redbubble.com and zazzle.com as well. There are a limited range of sizes, so if you want anything larger, smaller, I'm going to be adding them over the next couple of days, but if there's something you want to see, just email me at creator@kuzimu.co.uk. Okay, they're only in black, so it means they're a little bit more expensive, but, you know, it looks classier, so, you know, you pay for quality. So, on to the next segment. I honestly don't know at this stage whether it's been enough to get us through previews. At this point, the book could either go out through Diamond or it couldn't. So I'm in Schrodinger's cat territory here at the moment. It can happen any day. We've just got to find out. So anyone who put up money and stumped up money for the book, thank you so much for your support, for all the small creators as well that have had so many positive things to say. It's been a wonderful experience so far. Certainly I'm going to go and talk to some UK bookstores now about 215 Inc. and Kuzimu books as well, to try and get them into a more traditional book marketplace and get them out of the constraints of the comic market a little bit to some extent. So that's a positive thing. Now, the only other thing I wanted to talk about is possibly a bit presumptive, maybe even a bit big-headed of a small independent comic book creator to be talking about on a video, but no, I think it's important enough and it reaches enough places that it ought to be mentioned. The banking rate fixes crisis, adding on to another, you know, the whole 4-year crisis that's been ongoing since 2008. It's really coming to a head now. There have been already some arrests in the States and things, and these people are criminals. It's only because they're apparently so essential to the running of our society that they've just been given slaps on the wrist so far. And it's not in any way keeping with the law. The Madoffs certainly were arrested and incarcerated, so why shouldn't they be? And it's because of them that people have lost their homes, their pensions, independent careers, and that level of fraud should be brought to a court of law. There's no question of it. They've even reached into the comics industry and arts. You're thinking about all the governments cutting back on arts projects. The British Film Council used to independently fund British movies, and they're not around anymore. They're certainly not able to fund anything to any large extent, so it affects the arts and entertainment industries, as well as mine, the comics industry. It's all about safe bets now in business. In movies, it's all about reboots and recognisable franchises, as it is with television, and certainly with Disney owning Marvel and Warner's owning DC. You know, it's all about characters that were created over 40 years ago. Where's the innovation? Where's the new stuff? Well, it's certainly here in the independency where all that's come from. If you want to see something new, as I'm sure we're all starting to hunger for at the moment, then we've got to look elsewhere than these big centralised companies. Certainly there's some positive movement in that area. I mean, with Indiegogo and Kickstarter, crowdfunding, crowdsourcing in general, I think that could be the blueprint of things to come. I've heard about people growing food in their back gardens that are then selling on, networked over the internet. I mean, it's all about decentralization, all the power and wealth concentrated in too few places. I can see a future, not utopian one, because we're a flawed species. You know, it's an imperfect universe. That's the way things are. So I'm sure there'd be problems with it. But if we all got solar panels, turbines, or whatever else is available in a few years, we could quite easily have, you know, a fully social, networked world where people exchange food, energy, ideas, designs for equipment and you know, products. I mean, with the advent of 3D printing as well, it could be all in our own hands to make our own way and wealth in the world. And I think that's the way it should be. So, to leave you that positive thought, all my small press creators, you guys have been supporting me throughout, all the fans, you know, let's just keep going. Let's just keep making our own stuff. And, you know, hopefully, in the end, that'll overtake all the big guys. So I'm going to keep creating, you keep creating stuff, let's keep talking about it and sharing. And when there's more Kuzimu news, I'll get back to you. Speak to everybody soon. Take care.